Hello and welcome back to the Rei Sportscar Championship here for round 8 of the season. This is the final round and this is the Division 1 sprint race. We're at the Suzuka circuit, so it is a long lap here in these Mazda Rosa touring cars, but it's going to provide some of the best racing of the season. Let's go through the grid that we had in a little 10-minute qualifying session. And on pole, with a little bit of help from Slipstream, was Mr. Miki Mako, so congratulations there for the pole. In second place there, the number 16, Charlie Fraser, great qualifying for him. And then in third place is Brothers V there in the gold chrome. In fourth place is Happy Hippie. In fifth place is newcomer to the Rei Sportscar Championship, Hirakram. Now he's been given the maximum ballast due to already being known as a very quick driver. In sixth place is the Irish driver Ross 21, with seventh place being championship winner and Weeb extraordinaire Paquito. In eighth place there is Yes Mate GT, with ninth place being Average Tom. Now Average Tom won the Division 2 championship, and for this final round he's just been promoted to Division 1 to see how he can perform there in his new livery. And then rounding out the field there in 10th place is Scanny Flick. So as this is the sprint race, all drivers are using those racing soft tyres, and there is absolutely no tyre wear. It is flat out racing for 20 minutes. See the headlights there of Matko. Very, very excited to start this race as he goes into second gear, and Charlie, Brothers V and the like will follow. You can see a few more gaps near the back due to them starting in the middle of the chicane, where it can be harder to accelerate. But it may be a few corners until we see any true overtaking moves, of course, due to that rolling start. Oh, and actually already Happy Hippie's looking very, very aggressive. Now he has no ballast here for this round, so probably gained a little bit on the straights. Meanwhile, Charlie's now closing up on Mr. Mako. Let's just go on board with our Season 8 champion and our Season 7 champion, Paquito. So a little bit of a gap forming behind already there to Yes Mate Tom and Scanny Flick in 10th. And no early moves yet, but if anyone makes a crucial mistake here, there's a prime opportunity coming into this hairpin. I think there may have been a car off the track there slightly. But let's see, what can Paquito do as we go towards the hairpin? Will we see any dive bombs? No, we don't, so it's all very clean through here. There's Average Tom there in the Remembrance car, and Scanny Flick in the orange and teal. But the closest battle does seem to be 6th and 7th. Let's go under the banner towards Spoon Curve, which is very, very tricky in these cars because it's not full throttle, but there is a slight bit of braking you have to do. You can see there Ross braking around 60%. And I think he's missed that apex for the second part of it. That's going to give Paquito the run onto that back straight. Ross has a little bit of ballast, so Paquito still got a great chance of overtaking here through 130R and maybe a dive into that final chicane. But up front we've got Charlie on the inside of Mako, the side by side through 130R. Mako manages to hold on, yes, very squirmy. Coming out to the corner, Brothers V is now looking aggressive. There he is around the outside. Charlie stays on the outside, staying third place, and look, that's cost Brothers V in the end, as Happy Hippie's now on the outside, coming through that mysterious final turn, and Hirakram's now going to push Brothers V, it seems. So in all of that, Charlie's managed to stay the same. Hippie is now looking to move into the podium positions, and Hirakram with the max ballast maybe helping Brothers V out by staying in front. And oh no, Hirakram using the inside there to actually gain a position. That's excellent overtaking here in his debut Rei Sportscar Championship race. So unfortunate there for Hippie. He goes down to 5th. And it's now Charlie back under pressure. So from the aggressor on Mako down to suddenly being the one under threat, as Mako's now putting a big gap. Oh, and Yes Mate's on the inside. Yes Mate's on the inside of 2 cars. Oh, big contact now sent Happy Hippie off. Let's catch a replay. Let's go on board. Oh no, it's not Yes Mate, sorry, it's Ross. Oh, I don't really think there was much malice in that. Slight more contact. Apologies for thinking it was Yes Mate. But maybe just one of those incidents there. Happy Hippie may not have expected Ross to go down the inside there just at this moment. Further back, Average Tom, Scanny Flick maybe dropping a little bit further back, but hopefully for both of them they can find a little bit of pace. As you see them go through the hairpin. It's Bradley and Hirokran there, looking like there might be some action. So this is very, very confident driving there from Hirokran here in his debut race. Just going on board here with Yes Mate, looking at this battle between Paquito and Ross. Paquito again getting a good through spoon, as Ross maybe just needs to improve, or else he's losing a couple of important tenths of a second. The slipstream is benefiting these drivers heavily, meaning that Matko may not be able to pull away for the rest of the race as we go to him. 2, 3, 4, all very, very close so far. Oh, and that's Happy Hippie on the inside with a time penalty for cutting the chicane, exceeding the track limits. All cars still within the same 5 seconds of track, really. So an excellent start here to this sprint race. And of course later on there is a feature race. So Paquito, one of the drivers here, using a bit of a gold livery. The other one being Bradley, who's all over Charlie Fraser there. And I think though in the end, I don't think he's going to get the moves done. No, he isn't, as Hirokram actually now. The one who may be able to pounce as we go through Degna 1. A little bit more of the track being used there from the debutant. Oh, Charlie's way too wide, but I think he'll hold on to second for now. Let's just go on board with him. Can we have a surprise dive bomb? No, he stays easy for now. Slightly different line being taken between those two, as the rest of them follow through. And at the average, Tom made a bit of a mistake this lap. Let's see if we can catch that. Oh, so he's clipped the grass in the middle of the S's. And that sent the number 59 driver off into the gravel, but good recovery there to only lose a few seconds as Scanny Flick goes by. Back up front, Matko still leading with the fastest lap of the race, but is that gap gonna stay for the next 6 laps? I doubt it. Charlie Fraser definitely will have a little bit of a slipstream going up towards the final chicane, as Hirokram also looks to attack and get into the podium places here early on. You see Paquito is actually dropping back slightly as Hirokram actually really closing onto Brothers V and Charlie through that chicane. And now this battle here is actually just tagging along Ross as well, as Hirokram does get the fastest lap of the race. But Paquito beats it just half a second behind him and half a second faster on that lap. The Iron Proof sponsor car doing very, very well so far to stay in second after a great qualifying. Charlie's had some good races here at the end of this season, including almost a winner or top list. And he was always there or thereabouts at Mount Panorama. Further up we got Happy Hippie and Yes Mate fighting, and there's been unfortunate contact. Yeah, Happy Hippie's in the wall. Let's see if we can catch some more of that. So Happy Hippie's got an incorrect line through it, and oh, it's just one of those unfortunate ghosting incidents. And that is where Happy Hippie ends up losing that time to be with Yes Mate in the first place. So as we skip ahead, we see Happy Hippie in the wall, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? Paquito's managed to catch up all the way to Ross, Mako there in the lead, but that gap has significantly reduced to Charlie Fraser. Ross on the inside defending that top 5 position as he does very, very well. Bakito gets a fantastic exit and actually is maybe a little bit too close there to the cleaner as we see the brake lights flashing. Oh, on the inside at the second part of Spoon, you don't see a move there too much, but we have seen consistently in this race the extra speed that Bakito is getting through that turn, the extra apex speed he has. And will anything develop here with Brada's Hirocram? Hirocram closing heavily! I think Hirocram just is braking far more effectively through that corner to close in there. Oh no, Ross off the track. Bakito may finally move into that top 5. No, I don't think he will. Oh, Yes Mate and Scanny. Let's just catch a quick glimpse of this. So Yes Mate's on the inside. Scanny holding her on the outside. Oh no, he doesn't. Yes Mate, 7th place he manages to hold on to there. Great defensive work from him. Average Tom is closing back in a 9th, and there's Happy Hippie rounding out the top 10. And you can see that gap between Matko and Charlie has closed, and that is because Charlie, with a little bit of help from that slipstream, has just got the fastest lap of a race, a 2:13.1, which actually I think that might have got him pole position if he'd done that lap in the qualifying. Brothers V tagging along. Oh, and a slightly different line being taken through that right turn. Oh, Bakito, what's happened here? Oh, Ross has made a big error. He's had it, well, for starters, he's got a track limit penalty. And then just run too wide through that first corner. Ross will be looking to make amends here, especially as he is in a very close championship battle with Brothers V for 2nd place. It's only a few points separating them, and with this sprint race and the feature race to come, it could go either way. So every position is going to change the outcome. Matko having to defend here halfway through. He did have a comfortable lead, but Charlie's been able to catch up, brought along a couple of his friends with him, and Matko's now under threat here and under pressure, most crucially of all. Now Matko, we have seen crack under pressure quite a few times here in the Rei Sportscar Championship. Will this be a repeat of that? Further back, Yes Mate in the wars. Where is he in the wars? Oh, it's in Degner 1 and Degner 2. He was fighting very closely with Scanny. Was there an incident? Oh no! Oh, he's clipped the grass there, trying to take a bit more of the track, and eventually spins around. He accelerates, but that allows even Happy Hippie to get by. As we go back here towards the end of lap 5, it's now Brothers V with the apex speed advantage on Charlie, so Matko not as much under pressure as we approach that Casio chicane. And there is now a top 4 group who are split away there from Bakito and Ross. And you can see Hurricane braking a little bit later again. Oh, that was very close to the rear bumper, and that gets a bit loose, so maybe pushing very, very hard, looking to take a win here, as this is still anyone's game. And if these 4 continue to fight like they were doing there on the previous lap, Bakito and Ross are still in with a chance. Further back it has spread out a bit now. Scanny Flick 7th, Tom 8th, and Happy Hippie 9th, and then just now we can now see Yes Mate in 10th. Ooh, I thought that was an overtake, maybe also very close for an incident, and that is going to cost him time. And also the G-Force Racing sponsored car is really going to close up here. bit wide from our season champion there in 5th place, but holds on here as we approach that hairpin. And Mako back under threat. And with 6 solid laps of leading, he's just got a third of this race to go, but this is going to be the hardest third for him to contain. There's a very different line being taken from 3rd and 4th place there. They use a lot more of the track in between Spoon 1 and Spoon 2, and you can just see how much closer Brothers V is to both of them, and you can see how much closer Charlie is to Matko as well. And look, Paquito is getting back in on the action there in 5th. As we go through 130R, surely Matko's going to have to defend into the chicane. Charlie has to go to the outside. Brothers V also to the inside and looking for 2nd place. Oh, there's contact, but Bradley got into 2nd, so Charlie, who was looking to take the lead, dropping back. Let's catch a replay of that, and let's go on board here with the front of Brothers V. And that's actually a pretty good move there. Hirakram just behind. Let's just catch another view. Now, how close is Hirakram to Charlie Fraser now? You can see Paquito and Ross there, just about there. Now there was slight contact, but fortunately for Charlie, no one was sent off the track. And as we go back for the action, looking at Hirakram and Charlie Fraser now. This is where the real squabbling is going to be as the laps tick down. Now, we've recently had a livery competition based on round 4 of our season, which was at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, which was America weekend. The winning livery was the livery made by Paquito, but driven by Snake 96. So it was a wonderful American themed livery. No major theme though here at Suzuka. Meanwhile, in just a couple of weeks, we will have a 300 kilometers of Spa multi-class endurance race with Group 1 and Group 3 cars. Very, very, very drastic difference to these Mazda Rosa touring cars. Oh, is that for the lead? It is for the lead. Macklemore's going to push his off. Almost get pushed off, and Hirakram's going to go into 2nd. Hirakram, no, can't go into 2nd. Charlie into 3rd. Just about holding off Hirakram. And now Mako's on the outside. Oh, is that contact, or is Mako brake too late? He's off the track. Our race leader for the first 2/3 has gone off, and we have got so much action to unravel. But we've still got Charlie and Hirakram side by side, but I think Charlie's going to come out on top there. Let's just go back to all of this action unfolding, and Mako just got a little bit of a poor run there compared to Brothers V. Brothers V just braking late and said see you later, and that sent Mako down the order. That was an open invitation, and the post was sent. Paco and Ross here on board with. He's still got a little bit of a time penalty to try and get rid of here in these last 2 laps, or else that will be a 1-second penalty at the end of the race. There's Mako going off the track. Maybe there was a bit of contact with Charlie Fraser, but it's hard to see. And there's Hirakram on the inside of Charlie, about half the way up Charlie's door, but Charlie held on to 2nd, it seems. And now Paquito has gone from 5th to 4th there ahead of Mako. And now with 2 and a bit laps to go, from being Mako's race, it's now Brothers V's race here, picking up 20 points as it stands. Oh, Mako's way off the track, way off the track. He's down to 6th. And Charlie on the outside. Paco. No, Hirakram in 3rd. Paco's off the track. Paco's way off the track and almost spins the car. And whoa, how has he done that? That is replay worthy. So they were side by side with Hirakram. Oh, there's enough room. And you know what? Even though he's slightly off the track, he's managed to hold that acceleration with a great overtake. Probably the overtake of the race so far there from the Italian. Mako drops. Is he going to drop down to 6th fully? He's been fighting 5th and 6th with Ross there through that chicane. Ross on the outside going into turn 1. Surely one of these drivers are going to end up off the track if they're not careful. And Ross ends up being careful. Back towards the battle for the lead. Very wide from Brothers V. Charlie as close as he can be, really. And then Paquito, Hirakram, Matko and Ross into 5th because Matko's in the wall. A disaster all in 2 minutes there for him. He drops down. Scanny Flick moves up there. Average Tom, Happy Hippie and Yes Mate rounding out the field, who's had another poor lap. But back up front in what is now a 4-car train for the win. Maybe if they battle, Ross can come back in, but it's looking a little bit dire for him. Oh no, attempt at an overtake from Charlie. That was actually about as close as Brothers V was to Matko last lap around. But Charlie not being as aggressive. Meanwhile, Matko has rejoined. He's in 8th place. If you're a gambling man, you're probably not going to win too much money here, because really, who is going to win? Maybe Hirakram can come from 4th. He's definitely had some good overtaking so far. Ross is probably too far back, but Charlie does have the least ballast here. He has no ballast. On the outside of Brothers V, who has to defend. Paquito's looking close. Paquito on the inside of Charlie moves into 2nd place, but he's very loose. There's been contact in the side. Hirakram moving up into 2nd. Oh, Ross hits him. Ross hits him. Hirakram has gone up into 2nd. What's happened here? So Paquito. Okay, we've got to catch this properly. Obviously having more speed through 130R due to the double slipstream, and has just gone. I don't think he's actually wanted to go for this move, but Charlie's just missed the apex. Oh, maybe that was forced off. It's hard to tell. And then Ross has maybe nowhere to go, actually. He's going to be a good view for this, though, for sure. I think Charlie was probably entitled to a little bit of room there at the apex. Ugh. Oh no, Ross has run wide completely on his own. Paquito was completely off the track. Ross also off the track. Ross even further down. And Scanny, you know what? Scanny's got a chance of 4th here. Paquito's going to drop down. Oh, is he? Is he? Is he? Well, yes, he does. And Ross actually stays ahead for now into 4th. But a solid 8 seconds of time lost there, but he was running wide on his own, really pushing hard to close in on the podium places. Further up front, Charlie actually got back past Hirakram, just with the extra power that he actually has and a little bit of slipstream from Brothers V. That is the power of ballast right there, as Hirakram in his debut race really feeling the pain. Oh. And in all of that, Brothers V has escaped the carnage, as he was ahead of Paquito and Charlie when that little bit of contact happened. So right now, yeah, maybe a little bit easier to gamble right now, because you would probably win some money if you put Brothers V on, as he does have a solid 9/10 of a second gap. And he has been mightily quick through this section, as we saw after overtaking Matko at the exit of this sector. Just a quick little look further back. Happy Hippie in 8th, Matko down to 9th, and Yes Mate in 10th. But back up for this battle for 2nd. Hirakram not trying anything too dirty. And it has been a very clean race from the debutant so far. And then you can see Ross, Scanny and Paquito just about in the distance going into the hairpin. Oh, Hirokrem on the inside, because that was a missed apex from the Scottish driver. He'll miss that apex as well, because Hirokrem's already got the position. But this is where Hirokrem's going to have a tough time to keep it. But he may be able to get a bit of slipstream from Bradesby ahead, who now has a 1.4 second lead as we go towards the 130R. Charlie on the Charlie on the outside here. Oh, a little bit of squeezing, but there was just about a car width, it seems. Maybe a little bit of bad blood so far. Down the inside, he has to defend. Charlie having to stay in third. So coming across to take the checker flag and the 20 points here for round 8. Here is Suzuka, Bradesby. Excellent overtake to take the lead. Excellent win. Hirokrem in second on his debut. Great stuff from him to avoid the danger. Charlie, it was a very good race, just maybe a little bit unfortunate, but a podium is nothing for him to be ashamed about. Ross comes home in 4th, Scani in 5th, just edging out Paquito. How close were they at the end? Just a couple of tenths in it, and that incident did allow Scani to get that top 5 result. Good stuff for him. 7th is going to be Average Tom here in his Division 1 debut, proving his worth somewhat, although a couple of mistakes maybe cost him a chance at that top 6. Happy Hippie in 8th, which is good after a couple of early incidents. Matko, he's off the track, and Yes Mate is going to overtake him and come home in 9th. Mako will come home in 10th or just retire. What a splendid bit of racing here in the Rei Sportscar Championship. So much action. It was enthralling stuff to be a part of, enthralling stuff to watch. We will see you for the feature race coming up soon, and Division 1 and Division 2 action for the final round here of the Mazda Rosa Touring Car League, as Yes Mate struggles to come towards the line. So great stuff by our podium. We hope you've enjoyed this race. Bye bye.